But before we get to that, a quick story. Kayla was the head of customer success at a SaaS B2B company I recently worked with. Kayla was tapped to take over customer success when the organization was smaller, just starting to get traction. Well, fast forward a few years and a new CEO comes in and starts to invest aggressively in sales and marketing. And it wasn't long before the company started to scale. But where was customer success? Kayla was still caught in the day-to-day tactical grind, and she didn't know what activities to prioritize. She wasn't able to show the customer data her executive team needed to make decisions. Her team had grown a little, but only after a few hard-fought battles with the CFO to add staff. Her solution to managing more customers was hiring more people, and that model was not going to scale with the company's growth. The CEO was concerned, and Kayla's career was not only stalled out, but in danger of being cut short altogether.
Sorry for the interruption, folks, but I've had a lot of questions. Is this a real company, and are these real people? The answer is yes. This is Michaela Stoll, and the CEO was Mike Grossman. You are welcome to reach out to both. Now back to our story.
But fortunately for her, it didn't end that way. Now, what was missing was the ability to prioritize the few things that would deliver the best return and show the executive team the actual hard dollar return on investment they were getting from customer success. I was hired to come in and review the operation using the Predictive Customer Behavior Index assessment process. After a few weeks of working with Kayla, executives were starting to pay attention and take action on the now credible data that she presented. This is the challenge that most of my customers have, is how to get that credible, actionable data that executives trust. Now, during the assessment process, we identified some areas that were doing well, but we also identified a comprehensive list of items where they were underperforming when compared to best-in-class standards for the size of their company. Now, out of that whole list of issues, there were several quick wins, but we prioritized just two critical gaps in their customer success capabilities: defining revenue at risk and building an upsell funnel for customer success in Salesforce. And the results were exceptional. In 1 quarter, the success team had gone from tactical quicksand to becoming the strategic voice of the customer the company was missing. 97% revenue retention, a record to that point, but 93% CSAT with customer success, another record that averaged in the mid-80s before, plus 73 net promoter score, unheard of in SaaS software. And we had over a 40% increase in quarter-over-quarter upsells, a record $1.4 million from implementing the upsell funnel in Salesforce. And on a side note, the employee engagement was an off-the-charts 4.8 out of 5, literally from lowest of the company to highest in 1 quarter. Revenue reporting was developed for at-risk and churn reasons. We also found several areas where they could scale through automation. Now, this is the performance that your CEO and executive team are interested in because it moves you into a revenue generation mode. But here's the real purpose of the exercise. Kayla was now in a position to be the key customer advocate for her company. Just imagine if this was you. Imagine if your product team was working on 5 of the 6 enhancements requested by your customers. They didn't just discover these. These had been in the backlog forever, but they now had revenue at risk alongside of them, so they couldn't be ignored. Imagine if your engineers were reaching out to identify customers to speak with regarding certain enhancements, something they didn't do before because the customer reporting wasn't available. And we discovered some critical, actionable insights around third-party integration risks. Many companies are integrated with third parties. One thing is almost always true: your integrated product is very different from your standalone product. Now, we saved one customer almost immediately from this discovery. And one of the things I'm most proud of is, and it's a little thing, but it's very symbolic of the change, is customer success was moved up in the order and now led off the company-wide sales and marketing meeting. Now, this happened organically after just one meeting because what they had to say was so much more relevant to the company than in the past. Now, just imagine yourself with the confidence in the data you have being the key customer advocate for your company, influencing decisions based on the now credible voice of the customer. Okay, quick introduction to me.